Hey Thrivers, going old school today, doing a really quick video. I want to talk about 3 things that you would see in you if you're a victim of gaslighting. And I wanted to make this video because sometimes we can look for red flags in other people. However, people like the covert narcissist can have red flags that fly so low under your radar that you don't notice. You don't even realize what they're doing. A lot of what they do is without words. It's not what they tell you you can't do as much as how it makes you feel or how they make you feel that starts to cause you to make changes in yourself, okay? But when you know you and you know the signs to look for in you, then that will help you to stay grounded. So the first thing that victims of gaslighting say is it normal that I'm upset about this, that, and the other thing? Like, is that okay to be upset about this or that? In other words, if you feel like you have lost touch with how to measure what is an okay emotional response, then that's a huge, huge red flag. I remember in one relationship I was in, I was feeling this, and these were the exact words that I said, and in my coaching, these are the exact words so many people say to me. But when I said this to one of my friends, his response was, Michele, there is no right or wrong with feelings. Like, feelings are your feelings, and they deserve to be heard and validated. Even if a person disagrees with you, you should at least still feel seen and heard. I'm kind of sad to admit, or it's kind of embarrassing to admit, that when he said that, that was like this huge revelation for me. That's how far gone I had become when it came to trusting my own right to have feelings. So learn from my mistakes, okay? So if you find yourself doing that, that's a huge red flag. The second thing you want to look for is if you start saying things that cause you to minimize what they're doing. In other words, excuse their behavior and kind of try to change your emotional response. So for example, you might say things like, well, maybe that wasn't such a big deal, and maybe I'm overreacting. Maybe I'm making it bigger than it is. Maybe I'm the one that's causing all the drama by getting upset over this, that, or the other thing. In other words, again, it's very similar to the first thing that I mentioned. It really has to do with connection to self. Gaslighting is all about causing you to lose touch with your gut instinct, your inner compass, so that the narcissist or the toxic person in your life can then become the person that has the ultimate word as a guide as to what should be right or wrong in your eyes. So something to look for. And the last thing isn't so much something you say, but something that you do. And this has to do with seeking and needing the other person to see things eye to eye with you in order for you to hold on to your reality. Okay, I'll give you an example so that you understand this. This would be something like, let's say I was an artist prior to entering into a romantic relationship with somebody that might be high on the scale of malignant narcissism. And as the relationship goes on, without my realizing why, again, a lot of it's done covertly, I start losing my ability to see myself as an artist. I start losing trust in my ability to be the person that I was, okay? So the way this shows up is I might say something like, I really want to go back to selling paintings. I really think I can do something with, that as a career. And regardless of how the other person responds, right? Because we're not focusing on their response, we're focusing on your own. Let's say they don't believe in you and they do it subtly, and it's not even like it's abusive, right? It's that covert. But whatever they say, because they're not supporting you, you don't feel supported, you don't feel like they believe in you, you start kind of chasing their approval. Like instead of regrounding yourself in your belief in you, you find yourself trying to convince them of who you know you are. Almost like if you can't convince them, then you can't see it or hold on to your reality. That's a huge, huge red flag that somebody is controlling you, that they are gaslighting you and stealing your reality. If you notice these behaviors, don't minimize them. Start paying attention to you. Start regaining trust in you, in your inner compass, because nobody outside of you should be dictating how you should think or feel.